Don't like that.
It's the ghost.
I want to go and take a peek-see out the window.
So, are you just like walking up to it, or?
Yeah. But like a little hesitantly, like oh boy.
You got the Scooby-Doo music playing in your head, and boom, boom.
So as you kind of creep your way hesitantly over to the window, the windowsill is higher up than you are, so you have to get something, pull it over, and stand on it to look out the window proper. And as you're pulling it, a small chest over to stand on top of, and you get up and look out the window, you see a larger than you, but not extremely large. Like even Donut is taller than you. So it's a furry shape that seems to be somewhat larger than you, just skittering away from the window towards the small copse of trees that's behind your keep.
Is it 2 legs or 4 legs?
Hard to tell. It looks like it's running on 4 legs.
Okay, so it's not a little foot.
Well, it's definitely not upright.
Okay.
Maybe running like a ape. Knuckles and shit.
Yeah. Huh. Well.
It's probably nothing. Just go back to bed.
No. I'm gonna take donuts, and we're gonna go outside to the region.
Okay.
To the region where this thing was.
Go outside, bud.
Go Sapa? Go Sapa?
Make a perception check with advantage for donuts, trying to sniff.
Oh. So.
But what's advantage?
14.
You would take the higher.
Yep. So you take him outside, and he just kind of like goes around for a couple minutes, just like sniffing about like a normal dog, relieves himself in the corner. And then as he continues to just kind of like sniff about and look for maybe another place to leave some droppings, he stands still and starts really sniffing at something. Like you can tell when a dog has definitely picked up on something. And he just starts getting very intent on what he's smelling. And then he looks up from where he was smelling and just is like kind of looking just very slightly back and forth into that small group of trees.
I'm gonna use talk to plants.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say, Mr. Trees.
How do you know him?
What mysteries are you hiding in the trees?
Wow.
Do you have some weird furry thing up in you?
It must be
No.
lame, 'cause you're like just making no sense to anybody.
No, and I would ask that you get to know me better before asking such questions.
What's your name?
You offended a tree.
My name?
Yeah.
Leaf. Leaf Erickson.
Leaf. Hello, Leaf. I'm the hangman.
Good day to you, Hing.
Nice to meet you. I live in this keep right here, and been noticing some weird things going on in my room last few days, and heard it just a little bit ago. Look outside, see big furry thing. And what did he do? He left and went your direction. So I'm just wondering if maybe you caught a little glimpse of him. Maybe you know what the type of like animal it is or anything. Or?
I did notice a creature move by. Seemed to be a bit smaller than your friend there.
That's donuts.
I think he's dead.
Did you did you see which like direction he took off in?
Away from where you came.
Okay. Well,
Riveting conversation.
alright. Well, now that we know each other better, can I maybe come to you to every once in a while, see if you found something, see if you see something?
It would be my pleasure, Ingman.
Well, thank you very much, fucking Leaf.
Fucking
I was trying to remember his name. Thank you, Leaf. Hope you have a nice, sturdy evening.
God,
Hope the wind doesn't ravage you at all. I'm gonna go back inside, and
Good. And so as you're ending the conversation, the tree just gives you this last message of good luck with your search, Ingman. I'll be rooting for you.
It almost sounds like Ben Kingsley in fucking Iron Man. You'll
Oh, yeah, right.
never see me coming.
Your bark is worse than your bite, fucking Leaf. Fucking.
And he doesn't laugh, but you just see some of the boughs like kind of shake with a
I was just like,
Now make like a tree.
If this was in the middle of the night and somebody saw you, they'd think you're fucking insane.
right?
Cracking jokes at a tree.
Knox is very nocturnal and he's staring out his window like.
And as you turn to start heading inside Hingman, you hear some sort of disturbance in the bushes, like probably 40 feet behind you, like a small, like rustling of leaves and a twig snap.
Some dude furiously beating it in there.
I quick turn around and yell, "Hey! Who back there? What back there?"
And everything, except for wind and just normal like circumstances, everything seems to be still. No movement that you can see. Do you have dark vision?
No.
Nope.
I have dank vision.
Okay, is that a yes or a no?
No.
That's a yes or no.
Okay.
No.
So
Two
it's
different kinds of vision.
pretty damn dark out here. It's hard to make out anything. Like, you can see Leaf in front of you just because it's a giant-ass fucking tree. But, like, maybe 10 feet past, there's not a lot of moonlight coming through with all the leaves above you, so it's kind of dark in here. It's getting pretty hard to see.
Alright. Well, I mean, it's either I go out there and risk getting in a scrape that I can't win, potentially,
You can come get one of us.
or
I was gonna say it's like the middle of the night, isn't it?
Yeah, good luck waking me up.
I'm probably pretty
I'm
worn out.
out. I'm probably awake.
should I go kick Richardson in the dick and make him come out here?
Don't kick him in the dick. Wake up, fucks.
I'll prove your worth. Well, I mean,
What are you going to do, Hingman?
I guess
It's up
I'll
to
walk
you.
towards it.
Okay. Are you going to do anything to help you see? Because right now you have to, like, have your hands out in front of you to make sure that you're not, like, bumping into any stumps or anything.
Can smell it. Maybe.
I mean,
Do you have a torch?
You probably don't. You probably don't have your pack on you just because of like the.
He probably has
middle
like
of the night.
dancing lights or something.
wait, look here.
Or
Like a spell or something.
yeah, some kind of
There's
like.
like the light spell, but I don't think he has that.
No, like I have shatter, but that's like
Do you have a cantrip? Anything?
cantrip. I have mending, message, and vicious mockery.
Set.
Well, there are spells that you have prepared for the day, and there are spells that you know. So you can know a certain number of spells, and then from those spells that you know, a certain number of those you prepare to cast for the day. So we can say that if you have access to the knowledge of it, we can say that you prepared it for today. So if you want to, cast Dancing Lights or something like that, that's fine.
I don't have that though. I just got useless spells for the most part. Well, I mean, I got talk to animals, but I don't know what the fuck animal it is. Does that
I mean,
matter?
you could try. I mean, you don't necessarily. Well, hold on. I think talk with animals. You actually have to.
I think I actually have to see
Yeah,
it.
you have to.
Cantrip, level 0. Bards get Dancing Lights, and Light. So we can say that you know either one of those.
So you could use one.
Yeah, just,
Okay, sure. I'll use dancing light.
Yeah. TK, can you help him after this session to get, the the ones he has access to, and then the ones that he can prepare
Yeah, I
for the
got.
day,
I
kind of
can
a thing.
sort it out.
Awesome. So just for ease, I'll say that you cast light. You just take a little coin that you have in your pocket, cast light on it, and it's now radiating about 30 feet of light, and you use that to help you navigate your way towards the sound. And you go to where it sounded like it originated from. Make one more investigation check, please, and you can make this with advantage because you now have light source.
Oh shit! You can make it into like a vaguely humanoid form.
There we go. Well,
15 ain't bad.
Okay. So, as you're already, like, most of the bushes and definitely the trees in this area are taller than you, but you get down on your hands and knees and you start, pushing away some small branches of the bushes and just start looking down close to the ground. And you find a small, what seems to be a burrow. And just sticking your head down into the burrow and putting the coin with the light spell on it, you can see, the things that have been missing from your room. You see, a small pocket watch, the leg of that stool, a button, all kinds of little knickknacks. And above these knickknacks is a small plank of wood that has carved into it these letters. I'm going to type it out here for you. The R is backwards.
the R is backwards?
Yeah, like it says J-O backwards R, J, S-T-U-F.
Okay. That is in fact my stuff. George stuff.
Your?
Oh, okay. Is this like a word in another language, or is this just some type of or do I not know that?
I mean, it doesn't look like because what languages do you know?
Common.
Common. I know a halfling, whatever.
That's another thing.
Well, no, you got
Halfling's gnomish, isn't it?
no. There's no such thing for that. But I mean, bards
It
usually
should be in your bio or something.
Well, from the languages that you know, none of this seems to be, syntax or anything of like a different language. It just seems to be kind of broken common.
Be at the bottom in your bio or in the character sheet part.
Yeah. Like as a bard. Imagine.
That was basic.
Oh, go to core.
You know common and like
Go to core.
stuff.
Right there.
Yeah,
Or just,
Well,
there's
anyways,
a special part.
It
for
looks
I know,
like
I
it looks
forgot
like
to write it
broken.
down.
It looks like broken common is what he's saying.
Okay, broken column.
Yeah.
Alright, George stuff. Oh, is this George? This is George. Is he stealing things and that's his stuff?
It's Cody.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Cody's
there
bag.
is actually halfling is the language.
Okay. So, at this point, I'm operating with the thought that it might be something that's got a little bit of a grasp on some sort of language,
Maybe.
and his name might be George.
That's some solid thinking there, boy.
This is his stuff.
So far, you're 3 for 3.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
All right, George.
little peek behind the curtain there.
Is it George of the Jungle? Is it Brendan Fraser?
This is where he's been the whole time. In a small burrow outside of your keep in Danlin.
Movies, he's just been stealing buttons and fucking broken leg chairs.
Have you seen him recently? Of course.
All
Alright, so...
Do you want the thing back on, or?
What thing back on?
Well, I was talking to Sean.
Oh,
but
AC.
And then, when I see this, then...
I guess that doesn't really,
Does the burrow I'm looking at, does it go deeper, or is it just this little cavern that has all this shit in it?
It's just a little cavern. It's about 4 feet by 4 feet, roughly. Like it's roughly ovular, spherical, kind of like just a small burrow in the ground.
I then
just have to talk closer to them.
pull my head out of the burrow
Just have to talk.
and start shouting, George, George, George. You have my stuff, George. I would like to meet you, George. George. Where are you, George? George. George, where'd you go? George. George.
And you spend a couple minutes doing that. And after you say that, you wait and wait. About 10 minutes passes, and you hear this shuffling behind you. And you turn around and hold up the light coin, and you can see this creature that seems roughly the size of the Mastiff. It's a little bit smaller than that, but generally about that size, covered in a thick fur. There's a dark coloration around its eyes, triangular-shaped face, some stripes on its tail. But the fur is tangled and matted. Its one arm is kind of like shrunken and pygmy-ish. The other arm is like large and muscular. And you know Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, how he looks all fucked up like that? Just imagine a small woodland creature that has that same kind of like one eye is really big, the other eye is really small, teeth are jagged, he's drooling from the mouth. And he just says to you in very broken common, "You make George alone."
What do you say? So can you repeat that?
He's gonna type it.
Yeah, I was going to say just that.
He says, "You make George alone."
The fuck did I do with George?
That's you,
What?
man.
What?
It's your
What?
son.
What do you mean, George?
And he just looks up at you with this kind of half-pained expression and just says, "Red, all red."
Red. All red.
George.
It's my boy. My boy, George Cooney.
Dun dun dun.
I said
And that's where we'll leave that part of the story for
What did you
this.
do to him? I don't know.
Why did you...
And we go over to Knox. We're going to do a couple more things, and then we'll wrap it up because it's getting late for everybody. So, Hangman, we're gonna leave you on a cliffhanger for now, okay?
Okay.
With
Poor
that
George.
revelation.
Fucking George. Sorry, George.
And we go over to Knox.
I'm sleeping.
Near the end of your stay at your keep, one of the nights that you lay yourself down to sleep, Knox, you have another dream. This dream is less involved than the last one. You're more of a observer than a participant in this dream. As you come into the, consciousness of the dream, you find yourself buried up to the chin in the ground with your head sticking out. And you're able to move your head side to side and get a view of the world around you. And you just seem to be in a natural place with trees, hills, a small stream. You can see the sky above you. The sun is in the sky, clouds, very peaceful day. And as you are looking around in the dream, black inky tentacles start to grow out of the ground all around you. And these tentacles, they slowly start to wrap around and engulf everything around you. But they don't just engulf these things and destroy them. They actually replace and take the shape of these things. So where there was once a tree is now a mass of writhing black inky tentacles that make the shape of a deranged sort of tree. Rocks become these tight little bundles of tentacles that make up rockish shapes. the skies then start to turn a blood red, and the clouds completely disappear from the sky. A very thick liquid, also the color of blood, starts to drop from the sky, raining down. And after a few moments, it starts to increase its momentum, and it eventually comes to a downpour. And it creates enough water that it starts to flood the area. And with you being buried up to your neck, it starts creeping up past your mouth, past your nose, and slowly engulfs your head. You go under, and there's only darkness. And then you return to your sleep and your other dreams. And that's where we'll leave your part for a little bit of a cliffhanger, Knox.
Okay.
I just talked to him.
Waynard?
Yes?
Around, generally the same time, near the end of your stay at the keep, you are spending time in the small chapel area, having a moment of prayer and reflection, trying to commune with Torm. And during this time of prayer, you have a, for lack of a better word, a vision. The incense flowing around you, the accoutrement that you have set out for your prayer, everything kind of fades away, and your vision is replaced with this landscape vista, and you see yourself, and you're sat atop your warhorse in a gleaming white suit of armor, and in your hand you carry a standard, and that standard has the symbol of Torm on it, the white gauntlet, standing justly. You are standing in front of an army, and you're facing off against an opposing force, but you're not standing on terrain. You're all standing on a field of stars suspended in space. And the opposing army is made up of demons, devils, spirits, phantoms, mounds of writhing flesh and bony protrusions. These creatures are spilling out of a red dwarf star. And then the scene shifts and spins and tumbles violently, and it resolves itself. And you see yourself with that standard that you're holding, piercing the dark core of the star. Blood is running down the long metal shaft of the standard. The star itself dims and fades, revealing your limp body, one hand still clutching the standard. You then come out of the vision, kind of brought back to your own body, and back to your place in the chapel.
Whoa.
And that's where we'll leave your part, Waynard.
Okay.
Heskar? Waynard might have had a talk with him, but Richard just keeps trying to fuck with you in small little ways. He'll put a tack on your seat before you sit down for breakfast. He'll he just tries to pull a ton of little pranks on you to try and get one over on you. He still thinks that even though Waynard told him it wasn't part of his training, he still definitely thinks that he's trying to if he can topple one of his betters, he'll have proven himself to his master.
Are you asking how I respond as he continues to do this?
Nope, that's just kind of what continues to happen through the remainder of your stay at the keep.
Cool. Just get pranked.
And we'll just leave it there for now. I know it's kind of a weird, I'm presenting you with stuff and then we're not doing anything with it, but I just want to give you stuff to think about for when we pick up next time.
Okay, cool.
So we'll call it for tonight.